You might begin to wonder now what happens when you stop trying to understand everything at once and just let it happen. Because sometimes the most powerful transformation begins not when you try to force them, but when you allow them to settle, drift, and root themselves deep. Because maybe you've already begun the process. And while you listen, you may not notice right away, but something important is starting to align, like pieces of divine pattern snapping into place. As if the operating system of your soul has been updated silently in the background. And the truth is, you're installing something powerful now. You're beginning to remember what it feels like to walk with the awareness that there's a moral order, and to know with certainty that good and evil are real, and you are the light. You're the spiritual soldier, the vigilant one, the focused warrior of faith who knows divine protection is always available. It's like standing in the sunlight after being lost in the dark. At first your eyes blink, but then clarity. And here's what's fascinating. You already know how to spot the signs, how to feel the shift, how to recognize when something dark tries to creep in. Because you've lived it. And each time you overcame. Not because it was easy, but because you're becoming the kind of person who sees adversity as the battlefield of the soul and still stands firm. Now imagine this, you wake up tomorrow and before your feet hit the floor, you're already cloaked in armour, not metal, but something even more powerful, an inner certainty, a practice ritual, a spiritual resilience built on sacred patterns and beliefs that live in you now. You pray, you breathe, you align. And just like a skilled musician tunes their instruments before the concert, you tune your energy, you align your soul. You stand in your values, and because of that, darkness passes you by. It recognizes your signal. You radiate a vibration that repels all that isn't love, strength and truth. You may already feel it now, that new operating system installing silently. Spiritual discernment activating like code unlocking hidden potential. Like how a tree never doubts it'll bloom again, because it trusts its roots. Your beliefs, they're becoming those roots, deep, steady, unshakable. Let me ask you something. What happens when the person who used to react to fear now responds with stillness? What happens when someone tries to provoke you and you see the game? What happens when you realize that emotions are data, not commands? You begin to choose with clarity, with grace, with power. You begin to say, I see this test and I welcome it. I sense the darkness, but I'm protected. I hear the doubt and I answer with faith. And suddenly the script of your old story falls away, because now you're the author. In this new chapter, you embody vigilance, not paranoia, but deep awareness. Courage, the kind that breathes calmly in the face of fire. Discipline, not restriction, but sacred devotion. Compassion, not weakness, but fierce divine love. Now imagine again, not pretending, but allowing this idea. What if failure never existed? What if pain was a lesson disguised as resistance? And every time you face it, your spirit levels up, like a hero returning to their mission stronger, sharper, guided. Because you are a child of the divine. And that means you don't need to ask permission to succeed anymore. You've already been chosen. You've already been called. Now you only need to answer. And here's how to answer. You build rituals to become non-negotiable. You align your language with your truth. You let go of fear and hold faith like a sword. I'm protected, I'm guided, I'm unstoppable. You join hands with others who walk the same path. Not because you're weak alone, but because together you amplify light, you multiply power, like voices raised in unison, calling forth the divine. Now you're probably noticing how words begin to echo a bit differently. They don't just land in your ears, they settle somewhere deeper, because language is a doorway, and belief is the key that opens it. In each example, each pattern you're realizing. Forgiveness frees your energy. Gratitude calls in abundance. Discipline unlocks freedom. When setbacks come, you don't say, why me? You say, try me. Because now you see them for what they really are. Divine weight training, spiritual resistance training, growth disguised as chaos. You've stepped into the role now. The overcomer, the spiritual strategist, the one who wakes with ritual, reads for power, meditates for strength, acts with love, and walks in unwavering faith. So just for a moment, imagine you're looking back at this day, smiling because you remember when everything shifted, when it all started clicking together. And the truth is, it already has. And if that's true, this is already who you are now. Not becoming, being. And from this moment forward, every prayer, every breath, every act of compassion, it's not something you have to force. It just flows. Because now, it's your new way of life. Your operating system is set. And your spirit is already awake.